Hello and welcome to the channel. Unfortunately we have a little bit of a problem. My fish have got itch. Fear not, because it's not all doom and gloom, and having looked on the interwebs to get the answers from people who are more experienced than I am as a fairly new fish keeper, a few suggestions came up, and no, we won't be putting any chemicals in the tank. Without getting into the technicalities of what itch is, let's just say it's a little parasite, a little white spot you may notice on the fins and the bodies of some of your fish. Now this can be introduced in different ways, either overfeeding can reduce the immune system of your fish, it can be introduced from other fish that weren't quarantined properly, and the thing is, this thing breeds really quickly. It clamps onto your fish, it falls off, it spreads all more parasites into the water, they attach to the fish, and the cycle continues. So what have I done to try and cure this? And I did say parasites instead of parasites. Coronavirus illness. Let's have a look at what I've done to try and cure and help my beautiful fish. It's not affected my fish drastically, but the fact that you want to try and catch this as soon as possible, as soon as you see those white spots on the fish, it's the time to start looking into this and getting it fixed. Also noticed I have a little bit of fin rot as well on some of my cardinals, and I won't be adding any more livestock until we get this issue sorted. At the back of my tank you'll notice there is a top of the range fluval heater, but unfortunately that heater will only go up to 27 degrees. So I've actually put this older version in that came with the Roma 240, and the temperature on this is set to 30 degrees. Now the reason this is set to 30 degrees is that this parasite, this itch, this white spot, cannot reproduce at 30 degrees temperature. Of course 30 degrees is not the usual temperature for these fish, or what you should be keeping your aquarium at. 25 is what is mostly recommended for a community tank, especially when we've only got tetras in. Now these tetras will survive at 30 degrees, and I'm going to be keeping this temperature at 30 for 10 to 14 days. Even when it looks like most of the white spot has gone, it will have parasites that are still in the substrate, so it's important to keep it going for between that amount of time, depending on the amount of livestock you've got in there and how bad you've got it. Now I'm going to be monitoring this carefully with this digital thermometer, because 30 degrees is what we're aiming for. 29.4 around there, no good. This wants to be up at 30. Is no CO2 at all. We won't be using any CO2 during that period, although we will still be adding the fertilizers. I've also added 2 air stones here that are constantly aerating the water due to the increased temperature. Now what this will mean is that the fish will be more active and their metabolism will be increased, so you may have to feed them a little bit more during this period of the next 10 to 14 days. Something else we can use to combat this illness is, believe it or not, garlic. You can take these garlic cloves, take a few of the large pieces, crush them up so that the juice comes out, and literally throw these in your tank. I have around 4 or 5 cloves such as this in my tank. Simply crush them with a knife, let the juice out and put these in your tank. Not only will this help with your fish's metabolism, they absolutely love it, and it will increase their immune system. One other key factor you must take into account if you're going to be using the heat and the garlic is you need to change at least 25% water change every single day for that period of 10 to 14 days. Now I'm only using 20%, and that's purely because I've got shrimp in there, and the shrimps don't like the variation in the water conditions, and you've got to make sure that when the water goes back in, it's very, very close to the same temperature, and hopefully this will work. You can of course put salts in there. A lot of people on some of the forums were saying put salts in, but you don't always need it if you're prepared to use the garlic, and it does smell a little bit in your room. And wait that little bit longer, because putting salt in can affect your shrimps, and it also can affect your plants, and some of your plants will not survive. So I hope that's been of some use to you. If you do have itch, don't panic too much. Try and catch this as early as possible. As soon as you see any of those white spots introduced there, either from more fish adding or from stress, literally stressing your fish, try and catch it as soon as you can. You don't need the salt. Increase the temperature to 30 degrees, 20 to 25% water change every day for 10 to 14 days around there, and you can fix this. Don't panic. I know we all want to look after our fish, This is a harmless way to do it. No chemicals whatsoever going in that tank. I've learned my lesson from some very experienced fish keepers, not only on Discord but on Reddit, and said don't you ever put chemicals in that tank. There's always Mother Nature and there's always a way to fix it. Hope that's been of interest to you. I've got some more interesting videos that you wouldn't have thought I would be putting on this channel. But thanks for watching. I shall see you on the fishy side. Stay safe out there. Coronavirus looks like it could be coming to an end, even though I'm still furloughed until November. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and share. Let me know how you get on. Bye bye.